Hey everyone, it's Drew from Topsy Gear again, and in this video I just want to introduce you to my latest bladed creation, if you will, and that is a version of the tri-blade folding knife that you may have seen I did a video on in the past. I wanted to kind of make my own because that one didn't turn out to be as durable as I hoped, but just kind of give you a quick look at it. That's what it looks like there. And this video is mainly going to be to kind of show you some of the construction behind it and some of the idea behind it, and in a later video I'll do a full throwing test demo sort of thing, but just kind of give you an idea of what it's supposed to do there. Pretty sweet, huh? Alright, let's check this knife out in a little more detail here. The first thing you might be wondering, why would I even bother doing this? Well, other than it just being fun and kind of cool, it actually got started with another video I did I think back in 2011, where I featured this knife, which is a Master Cutlery Cyclone, and I wanted to see if it would, deploy the blades if you threw it, deploy them mid-air and then stick in something. And it kind of did. And granted, I did kind of abuse it. It's probably more of a showpiece, and it wasn't really made to stand up to that, but it did end up breaking. And I did throw it backwards a few times, as so many of you are generous enough to remind me of over and over again in the comments. But at any rate, I decided to try it again, throwing it the correct way with another one of these, which I don't have on the table here. And it still ended up breaking, so I decided, well, I wonder if I can build one that's stronger. So this is my attempt at that, and basically I made this out of 3 cold steel mini Tuff Lite knives. And it's basically a nice little folding knife. The reason I went with these cold steel mini Tuff Lites, one is because they're the triad lock on the cold steel knives is pretty much the strongest that I've ever seen anyway. So, if any knife is going to stand up to it, I think it would be that one. And then also the price on these, if I didn't want to spend a ton of money if it wasn't even going to work. So each one of these knives is $25 or so on Amazon. So I've got about $75 just in knives into this project. And then also the size, the blade was going to be close to what this was, so it'd be nice and manageable. And then also the shape of the blade is the other important factor. Now, just to kind of give you an idea what I mean by that, you'll notice on this knife, if you can imagine it spinning in midair, when it comes to the target, it's going to stick because this blade kind of has a hook to it. And if no matter what angle of approach that blade has, there's a wide range where it can actually stick. Now, if you take a more conventional knife with a sort of a rounded belly on it, it can hit that, and it's probably not going to stick, because the point's not hitting. You would almost have to, you have a much more limited range of where you can get it to stick. So to get the highest chance of sticking, you kind of would want a reverse curved blade on that. Now, of course, this doesn't have that, but it's a straight edge, so it's close. The only way it wouldn't stick is if it hit flat on, which it really can't do, because the other, if this blade was already passed in rotation, it would kind of hit there, and then it would tend to rotate up into the tip. And if I need to, I can always, carve a little bit more of this blade out to get rid of this little corner here, but we'll see how that works. And as far as the construction on this, it's not super complicated. It did take me a little while to figure it out. Basically, I took the 3 knives, removed the clip, the pocket clip on them, You can see there's a couple of screw studs that hold the two halves of the handle together. Had to take those out, and then also I kind of lopped off the end of the blade, or not the end of the blade, the end of the handle, and I kind of guesstimated on a lot of this, but I decided to, since we're using 3 knives, you're going to be working with a 120-degree angle between each knife to complete the full circle. So I put a 120-degree bevel on the handle of each knife, and then that kind of allowed the knives to fit together into a, I don't know if you'd say a triangle formation or a 3-pointed formation. And then I kind of taped them together just to hold them in place. And then I cut the plates using, drew out the 120-degree pattern with the protractor. Cut these plates, and these were just kind of a mild steel scrap metal I had laying around. They were already painted black, so that kind of saved me a step there a little bit. The thickness of the metal is about as thick as a dime, so it's not super heavy, but it's not super flimsy either. I was kind of trying to find the right balance between strength of the steel and then also the weight, because the more weight that this knife has, the harder the impact is going to be, and I wanted to try to keep it from breaking as much as possible. And then once I had the plates and the knives properly modified, it was just a matter of finding some screws to replace the stock screws, and then bolt the plates onto the side. The stock screws don't really stick out from the side of the handle, so I had to get longer ones to get it to work. So that's probably the main parts of the construction there. I did find on these side plates, if you tighten these screws and nuts down too tight, it kind of squeezes the blade, or squeezes the handle on the blade, and makes it difficult to open. So it won't open with the drill, in the drill like I had at the intro. So basically, I found they basically can only be hand tight. So I'm gonna have to get some Loctite on those when I actually try it out. But I think that's about the gist of it. Guys, stay tuned. I'm gonna do a demo on this, an actual throwing demo here soon. And if this is far in the future and I've already done it, I'll put a link in the description there so you can check that out. So